Hey everybody, this is Dimmick with CustomInsured, and today I'm just going to take a minute or two and discuss some of the holes that exist in traditional group coverage. Of course, we sit down with the groups on a pretty regular basis, reviewing their coverage, and there's some pretty typical areas where the standard traditional plans will have kind of some holes in that coverage, so to speak. So the first and foremost, is a deductible. More and more companies are having to go to larger deductibles, so that exposes their employees to a big out-of-pocket expense if something major happens. Another hole in traditional group coverage is what's called balanced billing. Even if you have a PPO, it's not uncommon for you to receive or for someone to receive a bill for services outside of network pricing. And this is where you hear the stories of people getting these extreme bills for something they went in for. Doctor and practitioner copays. Typically, copays aren't too bad, $20, $30, $40. But nonetheless, that is another area where there is opportunity to actually get down to $0 copays. So we consider that a hole in traditional coverage. Getting back on your feet after a major illness or injury, and this is in the form of disability. In a traditional group policy, there's no disability coverage built in by default. It's normally something that has to be purchased separately or up and above the health insurance coverage. And we actually have options that can bundle all of that together. Reduced benefits when being out of network. This is kind of similar along the lines of balance billing, but if you receive that out of network bill, the coverage isn't going to provide as much benefit. Travel. A lot of policies will limit you to your home area. So if you're in Texas, where we are, for example, if you go outside of Texas, you may find that your coverage is not going to follow you. So that could be a big hole, particularly for executives, a lot of times for companies where people may travel a lot. An employer backstop. More and more employers are purchasing coverage where they're having to serve as some level of backstop if their people have, or one of their people has a very large claim. There are some employers that are now exposed to having to pay a portion of that claim. And rehabilitation. This is one a lot of people don't think about, but if you have surgery and you're recovering from surgery, typically the rehab or physical therapy would be going into a facility somewhere, but that's a lot of times not particularly convenient if you're laid up or immobile. Wouldn't it be that much nicer to have somebody actually come to your house? So this is kind of several little bullet points, just kind of holes and exposure that people tend to experience in a traditional sense with traditional group policies. And just one more area, again, where CustomInsured comes in and tries to address as many, if not all, of these issues to get people superior coverage. That's all for this podcast. I do thank you, as always, for listening in, and hope you take care.